In our earthly experience, we measure existence through the steady rhythm of seconds, minutes, and years. But when the soul transitions to the astral realm, it enters a dimension where time as we understand it ceases to exist. This is not merely a philosophical perspective, but a fundamental truth of spiritual existence. The astral realm operates outside the constraints of linear time. What might feel like moments in the higher planes could manifest as decades in our physical reality. Conversely, what appears as centuries of learning and growth for a soul between incarnations may translate to just a brief interval in earthly chronology. This is because consciousness, when freed from physical form, experiences reality through a completely different perceptual framework. Consider that in the astral realm, experience is measured not by the ticking of clocks, but by the depth and quality of awareness. A single moment of profound realization in the astral world might contain wisdom equivalent to many lifetimes of earthly learning. The soul, unbounded by physical limitations, can absorb, integrate, and transform through experiences at a rate incomprehensible to the incarnate mind. This timeless quality of the astral plane explains many spiritual phenomena that seem paradoxical from our earthly perspective. Dream states, where we might experience entire lifetimes within minutes of physical sleep, offer us a glimpse into this different relationship with time. Near-death experiences, where individuals report extensive journeys and encounters during brief moments of clinical death, similarly reflect this transcendence of ordinary temporal boundaries. Edgar once described this phenomenon by saying, "Time and space exist not, except as man has created same in his consciousness." This profound insight reveals that our perception of time as a linear progression is merely a construct necessary for physical existence, but irrelevant to the soul's experience between incarnations. The implications of this timeless state are profound. It means that souls are not waiting in the conventional sense during their time in the astral realm. There is no impatience, no marking of days until rebirth. Instead, there is a continuous flow of experience, learning, and preparation, all occurring in what might be called an eternal now. Within this eternal now, souls engage in activities that would take centuries in earthly time, yet experience no sense of duration as we understand it. They commune with other souls, review past lives, and prepare for future incarnations in what feels to them like a seamless, unfolding present moment. For those of us still bound to physical existence, this concept can be difficult to comprehend. Our minds, trained to think in sequential events and measured intervals, struggle to grasp a state of being where all experiences exist simultaneously. Yet, through meditation, deep contemplation, and spiritual practice, we can occasionally access glimpses of this timeless awareness. The dissolution of time as we know it also explains why communications from the astral realm often contain information that seems to transcend normal temporal boundaries. Prophecies, precognitive dreams, and intuitive insights may reflect the soul's natural ability to perceive beyond linear time when it temporarily accesses higher states of consciousness. Understanding the nature of time in the astral realm helps us recognize that our soul's journey is not confined to the brief span of years we experience in each physical incarnation. The periods between lives, though potentially brief in earthly reckoning, contain vast expanses of spiritual development and divine communion. When we contemplate our eternal nature, we begin to shift our perspective from the urgent, time-bound concerns of daily life to the broader arc of soul evolution. We recognize that our current life, with all its challenges and joys, represents just one brief chapter in an ongoing spiritual odyssey that unfolds across both the physical and astral dimensions. The time a soul spends in the astral realm before rebirth, then, cannot be measured in earthly days or years. It exists in a dimension where experience is not constrained by temporal limitations, but is instead defined by the soul's own readiness, learning needs, and divine purpose. What might be centuries of spiritual education could occur in what earthly time measures as mere moments, while a brief astral communion might contain wisdom that would require lifetimes to express in physical form. When a soul dwells in the astral realm between incarnations, it undergoes an essential period of preparation that shapes its future earthly experience. This preparation is not passive waiting, but rather an active process of evaluation, healing, learning, and deliberate choice-making that determines the trajectory of the next physical life. The soul's first task upon entering the astral plane is a comprehensive life review. Unlike the brief flashbacks reported in near-death experiences, this review is a profound immersion in the totality of the previous incarnation. The soul not only revisits its own actions and choices, but experiences them from the perspective of everyone affected. A moment of kindness is felt as the recipient felt it. A harmful action is experienced through the suffering of the one harmed. This multidimensional review occurs outside linear time, allowing the soul to fully comprehend the ripple effects of its existence. Through this review process, the soul gains clear awareness of its karmic patterns, the spiritual cause and effect relationships it has created. These patterns are not punishments or rewards in the conventional sense, but rather the natural consequences of the soul's choices across multiple lifetimes. Each action, thought, and intention creates energetic imprints that shape future experiences, offering opportunities for growth, balancing, and transcendence. After this period of review and recognition comes a phase of healing and integration. Souls that have experienced trauma, carried heavy burdens, or departed through difficult circumstances require spiritual restoration before they can effectively prepare for another incarnation. Higher spiritual beings, whom some traditions call guides, angels, or ascended masters, assist in this healing process. They help the soul release attachments to pain, reconcile unresolved emotions, and integrate the wisdom gained from challenging experiences. Once sufficiently healed and integrated, the soul enters a period of focused learning. The astral realm contains vast libraries of knowledge and specialized schools where souls study subjects relevant to their evolutionary journey. A soul might immerse itself in understanding compassion, courage, forgiveness, or any quality needed for its development. This learning occurs not through intellectual study as we know it on Earth, but through direct consciousness, transfer, and experiential immersion in the essence of these spiritual principles. Parallel to this learning process, the soul engages in careful planning for its next incarnation. This planning involves collaboration with spiritual guides, and often with other souls with whom it shares karmic connections or developmental goals. Together, they design a life blueprint that will provide exactly the challenges, relationships, and opportunities needed for spiritual growth. The soul considers questions of profound importance. What lessons remain unlearned? What karmic patterns need resolution? What service can be offered to humanity's collective evolution? Based on these considerations, it selects the appropriate time period, culture, family circumstances, and even physical characteristics that will best facilitate its spiritual objectives. This selection process is not merely a matter of personal preference, but a deeply intuitive recognition of what experiences will best serve the soul's evolution. A soul requiring lessons in humility might choose circumstances of material limitation. One needing to develop compassion might select a path involving caregiving or healing work. Another focusing on transcending fear might choose a life involving physical challenges or dangerous vocations. The soul also carefully selects its future family connections, often choosing to reunite with souls it has known across many lifetimes. These soul groups, or soul families, incarnate together repeatedly, sometimes alternating roles as parents, children, siblings, friends, or even adversaries, to work through shared karmic patterns and support each other's growth. The emotional resonance we feel upon meeting certain individuals, that sense of immediate recognition or coming home, often reflects these pre-birth soul agreements. During this preparation phase, the soul may also receive specific training for talents or abilities it will manifest in the coming lifetime. A future musician might immerse itself in the cosmic harmonies that underlie physical sound. A healer might study the energetic patterns of wellness and disease. A teacher might absorb wisdom to be gradually recalled and shared during earthly life. As the soul finalizes its life plan, it enters into sacred contracts, agreements with other souls who will play significant roles in its coming incarnation. These contracts establish the major relationships, challenges, and opportunities that will shape the life experience. Though these agreements create a framework for the incarnation, they always preserve free will. The physical personality may choose to fulfill these contracts or not, creating new karmic patterns in the process. The final stage of preparation involves a gradual densification of the soul's vibration as it prepares to enter physical form again. This transition includes a process that many spiritual traditions call the forgetting, a veiling of conscious awareness of the soul's eternal nature and specific life plan. This forgetting is not complete. It leaves intuitive nudges, dreams, synchronicities, and moments of déjà vu that can help guide the incarnated personality toward fulfilling its soul's intentions. Between the realms of spirit and matter stand the guardians of the threshold, advanced spiritual beings who oversee the soul's transition from the astral plane to physical incarnation. These wise entities, known by various names across different spiritual traditions, serve as guides, protectors, and facilitators during the critical period when a soul prepares to re-enter the earthly dimension. The guardians are not distant or impersonal administrators, but deeply compassionate beings who have evolved beyond the need for physical incarnation. Many have walked the path of human experience countless times before transcending to higher levels of consciousness. Their profound understanding of both the spiritual and material realms makes them uniquely qualified to assist souls in navigating the complex transition between worlds. Unlike the common perception of guardian angels as simply protective forces, these beings fulfill a much more comprehensive role in the soul's journey. They function as spiritual mentors, karmic advisors, and architects of destiny, helping each soul design a life plan that aligns with its highest purpose while honoring universal spiritual laws. When a soul has completed its healing and learning in the astral realm and determined it is ready for another physical incarnation, it enters into deep communion with its assigned guardians. This relationship is not new. Most souls work with the same spiritual guides across many lifetimes, developing profound bonds of trust and understanding that transcend ordinary consciousness. The primary function of these guardians is to help the soul translate its spiritual intentions into a practical life blueprint. They possess a panoramic view of earthly conditions, understanding the complex interplay of global events, cultural shifts, and collective karmic patterns that will affect the soul's journey. With this comprehensive awareness, they help identify the optimal timing, location, and circumstances for the soul's next embodiment. In selecting the future family, the guardians consider not only karmic connections, but also the vibrational compatibility between the incoming soul and its potential parents. This energetic resonance is crucial for both the successful physical embodiment of the soul and the fulfillment of its life purpose. The moment of conception creates a unique energetic signature that must align with the soul's vibration for a successful incarnation to occur. Beyond family selection, the guardians assist in establishing what spiritual teachings call soul contracts, or pre-birth agreements, sacred covenants with other souls who will play pivotal roles in the coming lifetime. These contracts outline the major relationships, challenges, opportunities, and spiritual milestones that will shape the incarnation. While honoring free will, these agreements create a framework for the soul's evolution and service. The guardians also help determine the specific talents, abilities, and challenges the soul will embody. If certain qualities need development, courage, compassion, wisdom, creativity, the guardians help design circumstances that will naturally evoke and strengthen these attributes. If karmic patterns require balancing, they ensure the life plan includes opportunities for reconciliation and transcendence of old wounds. As the time for incarnation approaches, the guardians provide specialized preparation for the transition into physical form. This includes energetic adjustments that enable the soul to integrate with the developing fetus, a process that begins not at birth, but at conception and continues throughout gestation. The guardians maintain a protective field around both the soul and the developing physical vehicle, safeguarding this sacred process of embodiment. One of the most misunderstood aspects of the guardian's role concerns the veil of forgetting that descends as the soul enters physical form. This amnesia regarding our spiritual origins is not a punishment, but a compassionate provision that allows for authentic growth through genuine choice. The guardians carefully calibrate this veil for each soul. Some retain greater spiritual awareness and connection, while others experience a more complete separation to focus intensely on specific earthly lessons. Even after the soul has incarnated, the guardians maintain their connection and supportive presence. They continue to guide through intuition, dreams, synchronicities, and moments of inspired clarity. During sleep, the soul often communes with its guardians, receiving guidance and reinforcement of its spiritual purpose, though these interactions are rarely remembered in waking consciousness. The relationship between a soul and its guardians represents one of the most profound spiritual partnerships in existence. It transcends the limitations of physical awareness, operating primarily at the level of higher consciousness. Many spiritual practices across traditions, meditation, prayer, contemplation, are designed specifically to strengthen this connection and bring it into conscious awareness. In some spiritual teachings, the guardians are said to convene in sacred councils to oversee major life transitions. Before birth, these councils help finalize the soul's life plan. During life, they may gather at moments of significant choice or crisis to offer heightened guidance. And at death, they welcome the soul back to the spiritual realm and assist in the transition process. The concept of guardians helps explain why many souls report a profound sense of being sent or chosen for specific purposes. This feeling reflects the deliberate planning process that occurs before birth, where the soul, in consultation with its guardians, accepts certain missions of healing, teaching, creating, or serving that contribute to both individual growth and collective evolution. Understanding the role of these guardians offers profound reassurance that our life journeys, despite their apparent randomness and challenges, unfold within a framework of spiritual purpose and support. The seeming coincidences, unexpected meetings, and pivotal opportunities that shape our lives often reflect the continuing influence of these compassionate beings who guide us from beyond the veil of physical awareness. While earthly consciousness tends to perceive life as a solitary journey from birth to death, the truth is far more magnificent. We are never alone, never abandoned to chance or fate. The guardians of the threshold stand as eternal witnesses to our spiritual journey, holding the vision of our highest potential even when we forget, and guiding us gently toward the fulfillment of our soul's true purpose. The duration a soul spends in the astral realm before returning to physical incarnation remains one of the most profound mysteries of spiritual existence. Unlike physical life, with its predictable rhythms and measurable timeframes, the interval between lives follows patterns that transcend ordinary understanding, reflecting the unique evolutionary journey of each soul. This interval, what some spiritual traditions call the bardo state, or intermediary realm, varies dramatically from soul to soul. Some return to physical form almost immediately, while others may remain in the astral dimensions for what would translate as decades, centuries, or even millennia in earthly time. This variation is not random, but follows specific spiritual principles that govern the soul's evolution. The primary factor determining a soul's stay in the astral realm is its evolutionary purpose. Each soul follows a unique developmental path, moving through stages of consciousness that gradually expand from self-centered awareness toward universal compassion and wisdom. The interval between lives directly corresponds to what experiences will best serve this evolutionary journey at any given point. Souls in early developmental stages often reincarnate quickly. Their evolution benefits from repeated, closely spaced physical experiences that build fundamental understanding of cause and effect, choice and consequence. These souls may spend minimal time in the astral realm, returning to physical form within what might translate as months or a few years in earthly reckoning. This rapid cycling provides intensive learning opportunities as the soul establishes its individual identity and basic spiritual capacities. As souls progress to intermediate stages of development, they typically spend longer periods in the astral realm between incarnations. These extended intervals allow for deeper integration of life experiences, more comprehensive karmic balancing, and more deliberate planning of future incarnations. A soul at this stage might remain in the astral dimensions for decades or even centuries of Earth time, absorbing the lessons of its previous life and carefully designing its next experience. The most advanced souls often demonstrate the greatest variation in their between-life intervals. Some highly evolved beings choose to reincarnate rapidly as an act of service, minimizing their time in the blissful astral state to continue their work of healing, teaching, or leading on the physical plane. Others may withdraw from the cycle of incarnation for extended periods, serving as guides or teachers in the astral realm itself, before choosing to return to physical form with specific missions for humanity's collective evolution. Karmic patterns significantly influence the interval between lives. Souls carrying unresolved karma, with other souls still in physical incarnation, often return quickly to continue working through these relationships. Conversely, souls that have achieved substantial karmic balance may take longer between incarnations, carefully selecting new experiences that will further their growth beyond immediate karmic concerns. The circumstances of death in the previous incarnation also affect the between-life interval. Souls that experience traumatic, unexpected, or premature death often require extended healing and integration in the astral realm before they are prepared to incarnate again. This healing period allows the soul to process the emotional and energetic impact of the difficult transition and restore its spiritual equilibrium before embarking on another physical journey. Global and historical conditions create patterns in soul return as well. During periods of significant collective evolution or crisis on Earth, many souls feel called to incarnate together, creating waves of similarly purposed individuals who arrive to participate in humanity's pivotal moments. These souls may accelerate or delay their return to align with specific historical windows that offer unique opportunities for both personal and collective transformation. Spiritual missions and soul specializations also influence the timing of reincarnation. A soul with a focus on artistic expression might return during a cultural renaissance. One dedicated to healing might choose to incarnate during times of medical advancement or health crises. Souls committed to spiritual teaching might align their rebirth with periods of religious or philosophical flowering. These specialized purposes often require precise timing that extends or contracts the between-life interval accordingly. The soul's relationship with its soul group, those other souls with whom it shares deep connections across many lifetimes, creates another layer of timing complexity. Souls often coordinate their incarnations to maintain these essential relationships, sometimes waiting in the astral realm until their soul partners are ready to join them in the physical plane. This synchronization ensures the continuation of important soul contracts and evolutionary partnerships. Despite these patterns, it's crucial to understand that the interval between lives never represents passive waiting or enforced delay. The astral realm offers continuous growth opportunities through communion with higher wisdom, service to other souls, and participation in collective spiritual endeavors. Many souls describe their between-life existence as more vivid and meaningful than physical incarnation, rich with purpose and expanded awareness. Edgar, in his remarkable insights into the astral realm, described how souls actively participate in creating beauty, harmony, and healing during their between-life intervals. He spoke of souls composing celestial music, developing new healing modalities that eventually filter into earthly consciousness, and contributing to the evolution of thought forms that shape humanity's collective development. These creative activities make the between-life interval not a waiting period, but a different expression of the soul's eternal purpose. The mystery of varying intervals speaks to the profound individuality of each soul's journey. While physical incarnation follows certain biological and temporal patterns common to all humans, the soul's movement between dimensions honors its unique rhythm and purpose. This individualized timing ensures that each soul returns to physical form exactly when the conditions will best serve its continued evolution and contribution to the greater whole. Understanding this mystery invites us to recognize that our current life represents perfect timing in our eternal journey, not random chance, but the result of deliberate choice and divine orchestration. Whatever interval preceded our birth, we have arrived at precisely the moment when our unique gifts and learning needs align with the world's condition, offering opportunities for growth and service that could not exist in any other time. As we contemplate the varying intervals between lives, we gain perspective on our brief physical existence. Whether our souls spent decades or centuries in the astral realm before this incarnation, we recognize that our current life represents just one movement in an eternal symphony of experience that transcends the limitations of physical time and space. This recognition liberates us from the urgent pressure of mortality, allowing us to align with the soul's broader perspective and purpose. The interval between lives reminds us that existence is never interrupted, only transformed. Death is not an ending, but a transition. Birth, not a beginning, but a continuation. The soul's journey flows unbroken through both physical and astral experiences, each phase contributing essential elements to its eternal unfoldment. In this continuous flow of consciousness, the question is not how long we wait to return, but how fully we embrace each phase of our everlasting journey. If these teachings about the soul's journey between lives resonated with your inner wisdom, take a moment now to subscribe to our channel. Your subscription ensures you'll receive more profound spiritual insights that illuminate the greater purpose of your existence. The journey continues beyond this video, just as your soul's journey extends beyond this lifetime. Join our spiritual community as we explore the timeless wisdom that connects us all.